right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story, a little bit hard to believe, very cool story. So, the strict curl world record apparently was broken again today. I'm not talking about the video I uploaded yesterday, where it was broken with a 114 kg strict curl, 215 pounds. That was done by Leroy the Machine Walker. This record by Leroy yesterday was officially sanctioned at the Johnny O. Jackson Classic by the NPLC, the National Powerlifting Committee, which briefly brought the strict curl record back to the United States for the first time since it was held by C.T. Fletcher so long ago, with 225, I think, was C.T.'s strict curl record. So just today, the Russian powerlifter, known as Neezy333 on Instagram. A lot of you guys are probably already familiar with him if you guys have followed the strict curl for any amount of time. He's been a guy that's been on the top spectrum of strict curlers for a while now. So it's not really a surprise to see his name in this conversation. But he uploaded a video to his Instagram story today, just one day after Leroy broke the record, claiming that he just broke Leroy's record with 115 kg strict curl, beating Leroy's record by 1 kg for a 253.5 total pound strict curl. That would be the new record. Now, I don't know for sure right now that this has been confirmed as the new world record. We know that Leroy's record was confirmed by the NPLC. In the background of Neezy333's video, you can see the WRPF banners, the World Russian Powerlifting Federation. Now, interestingly enough, that was the original federation where this record was set 5 years ago by Denis Saplinkov back in 2016 with the 113.5 kg or 249 pound strict curl. And that's the record that has been standing ever since. So briefly, for one day, it looks like the record came back to the States, and it looks like the record is already back to the WRPF. So that just goes to show how quickly these things can change and the progress that's being made right now in the strict curl. Very cool to see. I kind of feel a little bit responsible for helping bring some popularity back to it, and it's kind of cool to see the strict curl making this little comeback and the record getting broken twice in the same year. I hope you guys have enjoyed the little strict curl journey that we went on this channel too. I mean, it was a big part of quarantine for me. It was kind of a whole segment where we talked about strict curl for like 3 or 4 months straight. Pretty big part of the channel's history, so I hope you guys have enjoyed it thus far. Now, next up in the news, some really good news specifically for Wesley Vissers and Classic Physique fans. Wesley Vissers won the show that he competed at in Poland, and what does that mean? It was pretty much the last opportunity for Wesley to qualify for the Olympia, and he went there and did exactly that at this Poland show. So he won the show, he's going to the Olympia. We will get to see Wesley on the Olympia stage this year. Hopefully, we get to see a better version of Wesley at this year's Mr. Olympia, and hopefully a much higher placing for Wesley at this year's Olympia. I kind of thought for a second that we weren't going to see Wesley get there at all because he tried earlier on in the season. He didn't do as well as he hoped. He didn't qualify. From the pictures that I've seen so far from Poland, it looks like he looked pretty good, but to be completely honest and transparent, I haven't seen any video yet from the show, and I've only seen a couple of pictures from the show, so I can't say for sure how much better or if he looked better than his previous appearance this year. But the pictures that I've seen so far, he looked good, and I'm excited to see Wesley on the Olympia stage. I was really hoping he would qualify, and he did. Like I said, there's a lot of really good bodybuilders in Classic that we're not even going to see on the Olympia stage this year. Logan Franklin and Steve Lorius, to name a few. So there was a very good chance that Wesley wouldn't have got there either. I mean, this Olympia lineup was a tough nut to crack. You've got some guys in that lineup that I think are easily top 10 guys again this year. And maybe with Logan and Steve not in that lineup, even though Steve hasn't been in it for the past couple of years now, with Logan not in that lineup, that may give some guys that plays behind Logan, Wesley being one of them, some placings to move up. But anyway, always good to see Wesley, always rooting for him, always love to see him do well. Congrats to Wesley Vissers. Now, next up in the news, Chris Bumstead switching to men's open bodybuilding. It's been a meme for a while. I don't think there's any serious intention behind it, at least not in the near future. But this story that Chris Bumstead posted, or reposted, I should say, got a lot of people talking. Some big words of praise from a 4-time Mr. Olympia himself in men's open bodybuilding, Jay Cutler. Jay says, next level stuff right here. If CBum actually wanted to cross to open, I truly think he could be the first Mr. Olympia LLC Classic champ to open in time. Facts. So what Jay is saying here is he thinks that Chris could not only be the Classic champ, but if he crossed over to open, he could be the open champ at the Olympia eventually at some point as well. And we kind of touched on this in yesterday's video. The comparisons of Chris to Dorian Yates, and then the fact that relative to the other guys in Classic, Chris is actually pretty big, not just from a height standpoint, but he's a 240-pounder on stage. I mean, that's a big guy. That's a guy that could hang in open bodybuilding. I think he would be, and I think saying he would win the Olympia right away would be a stretch. He would definitely need to change some things. And like I said, I don't want to see him do it. I don't want to see him cross over to open. He's got those kidney issues. He doesn't need the extra strain on his body of putting on the extra size and tissue that he would need to be more competitive in open. But I honestly think right now, if Chris crossed over to men's open, he could be winning shows like Tampa, shows like Chicago. He would be winning pro shows as an open bodybuilder, I think, right off the bat. Now, as big of a Chris fanboy as I am, as you guys always call me, I don't think he would win the men's open Olympia right away, and I think it would be a stretch to say that he would win the men's open Olympia at all. Chris is a fantastic Classic Physique Olympia champ. He's one of the best physiques I think Classic has ever seen. That being said, Classic Physique is Classic Physique and bodybuilding is bodybuilding. So he wouldn't get rewarded necessarily for how aesthetic he looks, for how small his waist is, how his vacuum pose looks, how crazy his V-taper looks, how good his posing is. Those things wouldn't really count as much in men's open as they would in Classic or be as important in men's open as it would be in Classic. Size clearly is more important than aesthetics, small waist, and maybe even conditioning right now in men's open bodybuilding. Big Ramy is your current Mr. Olympia. It's not going to go from a Big Ramy 300-plus pound physique to a Chris Bumstead physique in a short amount of time. That would take years to make that transformation in men's open bodybuilding. That's just my opinion. I think Chris could switch to men's open and win shows right now, but I don't think it would be shows like the Olympia or the Arnold. That's what I'll say. But I want to know in the comment section below your guys' opinion on Jay's statement there. If Chris were ever to switch to men's open bodybuilding, how do you think he would do in general and at the Olympia? Could he win shows? Maybe you think he couldn't even win a show. Could he win the Olympia? Maybe you think he won't even place. Let me know in the comment section down below. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for the video today. I hope you did, in fact, enjoy it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. That helps out a lot. Feeds the video into the algorithm. It's free. It's easy. It's simple. If you like me, if you like the videos, if you like the comments, just hit that like button. It's free. Comment something in the comment section below for the algorithm. Let me know who you guys think is going to win tonight. Jake Paul or Tyron Woodley. I'm going to be watching that one. Maybe a lot of you guys will too. As always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out.